All right, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day, a lovely night, wherever you're from. And real quick, before we get started, as always, I want to give a lovely shout out to the channel members on this channel. So thank you so much to these lovely commanders here that you see on screen. Thank you guys so much for your guys' constant generosity and support to me as always. It really means a lot to me, so thank you guys so much. If you guys are actually interested in becoming a lovely commander yourself, if you are interested in any of these cute and lovely emotes, the loyalty crown badges, you want a special role in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord. But as always, if you choose to do so, thank you so much. Just remember, that's not the only way that you can support me. Just watching the content like you are right now is truly the best way. Liking, subscribing, and commenting, everything really does help. So thank you guys so much. And for today's video, after my mediocre pulls went, they were alright. It could have been a lot worse. Could have pulled 4 SSRs without getting the character, it could have been worse. But I'm really glad that when I do my testing videos, I do it the day after because I just have like the pulling video, which is fine. But oh my god, did I have some of the worst luck with my gear. I need so much gear. These last few characters, the maids, now we got this collab. I'm running dry here on gear. I don't know about you guys, but I had to have like scraps to get Ray up. Like, thank God for burst weekends because I'm like dying out here, man. It's tough out here right now. And when it comes to my should you pull videos, I know a lot of people were probably here when I first started that, but right now it kind of got redundant because I would do like testing and then do a should you pull. I feel like I could just combine it in one video. So I think that's great, and it gives you guys the timestamp so you know where you want to go. So let's actually just get started, because when we're talking about the income aspect right now, honestly, is kind of rough because we don't just have this banner. We have 5 banners total because of wave 1 and wave 2. So we have this one, we got 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 whole banners because it's all the waves, which is crazy. There's a lot going on right now. And I think you've seen there's a trend right now with videos prioritizing one of the units for this collab, obviously. I'm going to be doing my own, giving my own opinion as well for tomorrow's video, so look forward to that. Especially because I know some people could be overwhelmed because they want to try to get the best unit they could from this. So who's the best, right? So we'll be talking about that, and it's going to be only focused on the meta perspective because if we try to rank this from waifu, it's all subjective, right? So like, what am I going to do that for? But I will say before we start talking about the skills and stuff, from a meta standpoint, I think it might be a little bit pointless to get this character if you're not getting the wave 2 Asuka. That's just a personal thing because 1/3 of her kit is dedicated to Asuka, so I feel like you really need both characters if you want to try to get this character, at least from a meta standpoint. If you like her for waifu, go for it. That's actually a perfect timing because when we're talking about the waifu aspect, I'm gonna be honest, with collabs it's a bit more different because it's not just like a Nikke original. It's really like more of an attachment to the IP or recognition of the IP, because if you don't know it, you might not really be that attached. For me, it is what it is. I'm just like basing it on how I like the characters, how they look. I'm obviously a collector and I'm a content creator, so I'm gonna be getting the characters, doing the testing, doing all that, pulling videos and all that. So of course I would have to get this character, but I actually think they did a lot better with this one. I actually prefer this version of her compared to the wave 1 Ray, in my opinion, mostly because I think this scythe thing looks so badass and the black and red outfit looks great. I actually think they did a great job with it. And when we're talking about like the DPS, they did buff her assets weirdly. Like, she looks a lot more thick. Like, it was crazy. I was like, okay. For like a skinny character, I was like, oh shit, okay. But for some reason, she has like this bobblehead thing. I think it's the hair or something, but I just thought it was funny. But I still think she looks great, and I could see why people want to go for her, especially if you're attached to the IP, It makes sense. For me, though, I think out of all the characters, I think I still prefer Mari. I still like Mari a lot, but that's just me. When we're talking about the skills, this is where it gets a little bit complicated, because like I mentioned, for skill 1, Annihilation support, it is what it says it is, because it supports Asuka's anti-AT field. It supports her when she's in Annihilation state. I don't know why this says units affected by Annihilation state, because let's be real here, this is only meant for Asuka because it is just for her. Without her, 1/3 of her kit is useless, unfortunately. And I'm gonna be honest, I still have mixed feelings on this MG heating up speed, because I feel like it's already fast enough for her, especially for even characters like Ludmilla. I feel like it's not really justifiable in my opinion, and this like attack up from the caster's attack is just not that great. So it's like, okay. And when we get down to testing, I'm gonna have some words because I feel a little bit underwhelmed when it comes to the results for the amount of investment I put in, but we'll get to that. Because when we're talking about her burst and stuff, attack damage goes up 31% for 10 seconds, attack goes up 54.72% of the caster's attack for 10 seconds, deals 878% of the final attack as burst skill damage for all enemies, which is fine, but I feel like it could be a little bit more. I still think it's great, but it's nothing like super like insane or anything. Like someone like how, let's say Asuka wave 1 and even this version of Asuka have so many buffs and stuff that they just give themselves that they're so OP. I feel like with these self buffs it's more tame, which is fine, but you know, when I get down to it, I feel like it's still a little bit underwhelming, but I think that's just a personal aspect just from all the testing, right? But when we do get down to testing, this time it's going to be a little bit different because I'm not just going to be trying to focus on Rei because she really needs to be supporting Asuka. So that's what we're going to be doing. And this time we're going to focus on doing it in interception. I feel like that'll be a better call when we're doing a comparison. I should have done that the first time. I apologize. But what we're going to do is actually go to Kraken, and we're going to actually have different set teams right now. So I already did my dailies, obviously, because I needed the gear fodder. So unfortunately, yeah, I already did. So we're going to be doing mock battles. So first team, the set characters that we're going to see consistently with all three teams are going to be Crown, Burst 1 Rappy, and Naga. Crown is just an OP buffer for everybody, but she will be supported by Naga to buff her skill too because of her healing. So all those characters are just going to be great. They're just going to be standalones. What we're focused on are the burst 3s in this case. So for the first team, we're going to have SBS and Summer Sakura. Summer Sakura will really shine here, especially for the parts, because that's meant for Kraken. Unfortunately, her sustain is really meant for Kraken, and it's like more focused on that. And I wish we had more of a team with sustain. Maybe that's what they're going to do in the future, but we'll see. And then right now for team 2, we're going to be swapping them out. We're going to put in Asuka Wave 2 with SBS, just for comparison's sake, because I want to see how she does on her own without Rei. Because the third one, the final one, we will have Rei here to see how much more she does with her. And if the results are just like I saw before I recorded, then it's going to be a little bit of a talk. So we'll see. But let's get started first. And obviously I can't really, you know, auto this. So I'm going to be manualing all three of these. So it's going to be a hot second. So give me 1 second while I have to manual this. If not, we're going to be here quiet for 3 minutes while I'm locked in. So I'm not going to let you watch that. So I'll be right back. Alright, so we're basically winding down now here because we're just at the final few seconds, which is fine. But now we're about to see what the results are. And clearly right now, what we see right now, Crown we're not really worried about. Rappy I'm always impressed with just because almost 500 million catching up with Summer Sakura is crazy. Scarlet Black Shadow is obviously a beast, doing 1.2 billion right now. Summer Sakura is trying to get there, but just not quite at 540 million. You know, she's good, but just not that great. You know, Wind always needs help with DPS. That's why I think Asuka Wave 2 is great. So what I want to do is just keep some of these numbers in mind. You know, keep that Scarlet Black Shadow 1.2 billion. Remember that Sakura one. We'll see that Sakura one because let's be real, I don't think Asuka's going to catch up. I feel like Scarlet Black Shadow is just going to be really just, in general, just a beast, and that's pretty much what she is. She's just a power-crept beast. So let's focus on getting to Team 2, doing it again, and we'll talk about the results, because this time, we're actually going to be using Asuka, and then just SBS for comparison. Don't really want to use Sakura, so let's actually do that, so I'll be right back once again. Alright, once again, we're winding down now here, thankfully. You know, I'm kind of going crazy over here doing more Kraken just constantly, but hey, it is what it is. Right now, once again, Rappy's doing great. Asuka's at 700 million right now. SBS doing a little bit less now, which is whatever. You know, it's always going to be different variables with that, but still over 1 billion right now. But 735 million is more than what Summer Sakura was doing, so this is a definite improvement, doing great. But it still wilds me how well Rappy is doing in comparison. I think my Naga died right at the end when I just said we're back, so that's funny. But yeah, no. So 700 million to 1 billion, you know, that's actually getting close, and that's damn respectable. So what I want to do now is actually compare to see how much more she'll do in comparison from being solo. So we're going to just bring Rei in now, do the same thing like we did before, but just see how much better she'll improve from that 735 million benchmark. Alright, so we're winding down now here once again, getting to the finale, thankfully. And now we can actually look and we can see the comparison now. You know, when we break down the numbers, Crown is just doing her usual. Rappy actually did a little bit better this time, weirdly enough. Asuka's doing about 170 million more than previous due to Rei being there now. But that's what I mean though, like 170 million, like it's not that drastic of a boost, but it's definitely noticeable. So depending on who you are as a competitive player, that's going to be that extra edge that you want to try to get better in solo raid. And with these Rei numbers, I know for a fact it's also because I don't really have that much elemental attack. I actually have no elemental attack actually, which is unfortunate. I feel like I could be doing a lot better with her here, but it is what it is with the RNG of the rocks. You know, I can control that, but still, there is still a gain, but is it enough? I feel like that has to be up to you. For me, I'm still like semi-competitive, so it's nice, but I wish there was more, honestly. I know some people will take whatever boost they can to try to get a better score, so it's completely up to you, and that's for you to decide. For me, I'm 50-50 on it. I'm not sure if it's worth it or not, so we'll see how it goes, especially with this upcoming solo raid. We'll have to find out, but Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on everything. This was kind of a long one for me to make, but for you, it's not going to be as long. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Did you guys manage to pull for her? How did your luck go? Are you getting anything else? Are you getting any of the cosmetics? Let me know. We still have at least a week with a break right now because we're going to have hard mode, obviously. So, you know, look forward to that. Look forward to everything. Hope you're having fun with the mini game and just trying to make the most of it. But for now, that is going to be it for me. So I hope you guys have a lovely day, a lovely night, wherever you're from. And as always, thank you so much for the constant support. Take care and have a good one.